Okay, so here I am. I just put a stick of butter into my pot to melt. And I'm just going to move it around to kind of help it melt a little bit. And if your pot is really hot, that shouldn't take very long. So what I'm going to do is add to this some chopped garlic. I mean, I like fresh garlic, but if I can get it chopped already, it's still fresh. So I'm going to put about 2 of these small spoons, which is probably equal to a teaspoon. And I'm just going to let this kind of start to cook around. You don't want to have your fire too high because you don't want your garlic to burn, because that won't be good. Now, if I wanted to put a little kick to this, I could add some chopped red peppers. If you want to put some kick to your spinach. Someone said I was saying that wrong, so anyway. So I'm just going to stir this around, and I might want a little kick. Let me get some pepper. While that's melting, I usually have all my things ready for me to use, but sometimes I change at the last minute and decide to add something else, which this time it was red crushed peppers. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little of this in because I want my spinach to have a kick. So I'm just going to put a little bit. I have a lot of spinach to wilt. So let me put a little bit more. And then I'll just let all that cook together until all the butter melts. And then once all the butter melts, I'll start adding my spinach in. I've never been able to say that word. It's spinach. So as you can see, my butter is melting and my peppers are doing good, and my garlic. So what you don't want is for your butter to burn, because if your butter burns, that's yucky. I'll just say it that way. So I bought fresh spinach at the Amish market, and I washed it. Always make sure you wash your spinach, because sometimes they'll tell you it's clean and it's not. So like I said, I have a lot to do. I'm just going to put a little bit in here and let it start to stir around and get all some goodness. And add some more. And if you're using, you could also use frozen spinach, but what you need to do is to make sure that it is thoroughly dry before you start this process, because you don't want to have watery sautéed spinach. And I'm just going to mash that down. One thing about spinach is when it wilts down really well. I'm going to add some more. And the good thing about this is I'm using a cast iron pot. Now, a series of cast iron pots, because I love using cast iron. Some of my spinach is still wet, but not a lot of it. And I also, when I washed it, I put it in a bowl in the refrigerator so that it could drain. So that's going to be about good right there. So what I'm going to do, put the top on here. And as you can see in the bowl from where the water drained off, sometimes you think that it drained really good and you don't. Let me put this over here. And this little pot right here is not wilting down the spinach so that I can stir it, and it's doing a very good job of wilting it. So what I'll do is when it wilts all the way down, I'll come back. So let's put the top of it. Okay, let's check our spinach and see how it's doing. As you can see, it has really wilted down, and spinach is going to have water in it anyway, so you try to drain off as much as you can. But what I'm going to do with this is let it finish cooking down, and then I'm going to drain it and let the water come off of it, because we want our enchiladas to be, we want our inside of the enchiladas to be waterless, so that we don't have a lot of water in it. So, and I also want to mention that the butter I used is salted, so therefore you don't have to put salt into your mixture here because you get it from the butter. So let's give it a taste. Mmm. 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 The garlic and the pepper, oh, very good. I could eat this whole pot just like this. So I'm going to put this aside, drain it, let it cool so that it can be touchable when we're putting it into the enchiladas, and I'll be back. You just want to let them fry a little bit in the oil, just as if you were going to make tacos, but you don't want them to fry as hard. So what I'm doing is I'm making spinach enchiladas, as I said, and I made my own enchilada sauce, which was a lot easier than I thought it would be. So what I'm going to do is put it in the pan to sit with his brothers and sisters. So I'm going to fry these up, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here I am. I've cooked my tortillas so that they're kind of crispy and kind of not. I'm going to tell you, if you ever make enchiladas and you fry your tortillas, you will see what I'm talking about. It makes a whole total difference in the taste of your enchilada, and it's just a better seasoning. And then also, I make enchiladas with corn tortillas. When you use flour tortillas, that's burrito to me. Okay, so here we go. Today I'm making spinach enchiladas. And this is the spinach that I've done, and I've cooked it. And so what I usually do, let me get a plate. Well, this might work. What I usually do is I get my sauce ready, because what I'm going to do, let me get this out of the way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tortilla, I'm going to dip it in the sauce, like that, and then I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to put a little spinach. You can use any kind of whatever you want in your enchiladas. You could use meat. It doesn't make a difference. It's good. But my cousin came to Thanksgiving dinner one year, and he said he was making spinach enchiladas, and I was like, okay. And I tell you, I haven't stopped eating them since he made them. They are the best. And the spinach that I'm using is fresh spinach, as you remember from the other video, that I bought at the store and washed and cleaned. And it's been sitting waiting for me to make these. So, you do a little of this and a little of that, and then you just wrap your tortilla. Actually, it makes it more pliable too when you cook it that way. So I'm just going to continue to dip in the sauce. And I did make the sauce. I'll put the recipe for the sauce down in the comment section. And a little bit of spinach. This makes a great dinner, really. You can have enchiladas. You can have it with beans, rice, or you can even have it with a salad if you'd like. And I'm just using cheese. Cheese that I got, Mexican cheese blend is what I'm using, that I got off the store. And one thing I can say about enchiladas, and spinach and cheese go together, and they taste wonderful, wonderful in this kind of sauce. So I'm just going to keep on doing this until I get them all made. They really cook up a lot. So like I said, it's just us two. And then you can also put olives on your enchiladas if you like. They're your enchiladas. You can do whatever you want to do with them. You want to make chicken, you make chicken. You want to make turkey, you make turkey. Whatever kind you want. So I'm just putting the spinach in. And then what I've done is I've heated my oven on 400. And I'm going to put these in the oven and let them bake for about 15-20 minutes. So they're good and, well, they're already cooked, so warm through. Cheese is all melted and lovely. It's here. More spinach. And if you're vegetarian, this is a great recipe for you because you don't have, they have vegetarian cheese, I know, that you can use to make these with. And it works out really well. And as I said, the enchilada sauce was very easy to make. Easier than I thought. I was going to do it a different way because there were several ways to make it and I decided to make it this way. So, I'm just going to keep on loading it up. Until I get them all made. And I love my enchiladas cheesy. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish making these. And when I finish getting them all rolled out and ready to go in the oven, I'll be back. Okay, so I've rolled up all my enchiladas with the spinach in it. And I put enchilada sauce on top. And then I had some leftover spinach that I don't want to waste. So I put that on top. And what I'm doing is adding extra cheese to the top. Only because I like mine cheesy weezy. So I'm just going to finish grating this over the top, like so. And you can make these ahead of time and eat them the next day, or you can enjoy them the day you make them. So I put in extra cheese, and this is like this is a nutty kind of cheese that we bought, and I thought, that would taste good as a topping. So I'm gonna finish, and like I said, I've heated my oven at 400 degrees, and I'm gonna put these in for about 15 to 20 minutes. That should give them enough time to warm all the way through. So let's put them in the oven, and I'll be back when they're done. Okay, so this is the finished product of the enchiladas, and as I said, I let them cook at 400, and I put extra cheese on. So what I'm going to do is go in and get a taste. I love spinach enchiladas, and I never thought I would, but I do. Okay. So, to my enchiladas, I like to add more hot sauce because I like them a little spicy. So I'm going to put a little hot sauce on them there. And I'm not a big sour cream eater, but I'm going to add some sour cream. Just a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so let's taste. Let's see what we think of them. That blow. I tell you that frying your tortilla before you make your enchiladas, you'll never go wrong, because that is, the frying of the tortilla just does something to them. And the spinach is nice and flavorful because it was cooked ahead of time and just had a chance to set in its juices. So, like I said, you can do this with anything that you like. Like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for joining this video. Until another one comes, see you later.